Hey everybody, it's the Dynamite Show, aka the Jeff Hawkins Show, here on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel. Paul Fontaine and Jeff Hawkins, courtesy of Curryhead for that one. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining us here a little bit later than usual. I did the best I could, but the damn show didn't end till the time we were supposed to start. So it's amazing we're on the air. I think 7 minutes after Dynamite ended. Thanks to everyone listening on the audio feed tomorrow morning who has no idea that we were late. And I noticed there's some people in the chat already. Fernando, thanks for joining us. Curryhead, exciting stuff. 420, courtesy of USA Hockey. 1 week late.
Go watch my celebration from last week.
Yeah,
and know that the United States did not decide to make more jerseys so that they could capitalize on this. Nike, those idiots.
Yeah. And that whole stuff that went down with the Prez and all that. We don't need to talk about any of that. There was we do have one little small piece of news we're going to talk about, but I did want to let everyone know. I mean, this isn't really AEW related, but I know a lot of you that listen do go to the F4W convention, and I actually booked my trip. I'm going.
Oh, you sucker!
I mean, it's more about company in Vegas. I'm not going to Mania unless I can get free tickets. I got a flight for $400 and a free room with a $200 food and drink credit. So, and it's my son's 28th birthday that weekend. So it's the first time he'll have been in Vegas since he turned 21.
So what you're telling me is that gas prices haven't spiked where you are because of the unpleasantness in the world.
No. Well, a little bit. They're up about 10 cents a liter, which is about 40 cents a gallon.
I meant for airplane tickets because
no. Well, I got a seat sale, so that was good. Yeah, and so it's $400 return for each of us, so 800 total, and a free room. So I can't beat that. And it'll be fun hanging out with the F4W crew. I know John will be there. Are we drinking moonshine? Ask me off air. My wife sometimes does. So I was talking. There's a possibility I might start a new fun podcast, nothing to do with wrestling, and really? I'll talk to you about it off air. But my wife says to me, "You should get that funny guy from your Dynamite show to join you on that show. He'd be good."
Funny. Who's that?
Well, I said I thought I was the funny guy, and she says, "You keep telling yourself that." So she listens, I guess. So now I got to watch what I say. No is my official answer on the moonshine, John. But talk to me off air.
No, but I could be persuaded. That's what.
No, honey. I'm not drinking John's moonshine. No. But my son, who turns 28 that weekend, would be happy to partake in your moonshine.
This is just a little dirty water. The glass is cloudy. Don't worry.
There you go. Yeah, it's just peach cobbler, which I think is a pastry. The little bit of AEW news we had was I guess they did an ROH taping on the weekend, and Tony Khan, and this was in Jacksonville, and it was free tickets. And Tony Khan announced at the tapings that they would be back in 3 weeks. Now, I didn't watch what he said, but I did. The person that posted it said that AEW is the new or Jacksonville is the new permanent home of Ring of Honor. Now, I don't know if he's just assuming that or if Tony actually said that. Do you know?
I do not offhand, but I think it is because I think they just don't want to fly all those people in for Dynamite.
Well, that could be. Now, my thinking was, and it's funny because I asked this question about, well, what are they going to do at the tapings now? Because, I guess maybe one of the answers is they're just going to do a freaking half-hour overrun every week. But are they going to do like dark matches, or will they, what are they going to do? Maybe advertise a big time match in the market that is dark that you can only see if you show up at the arena, or will they just do their taping and then get out of there? And then someone reminded me, well, they do have a lot of double tapings coming up. I know the San Jose next week is double. I know the one in Winnipeg that they're doing in 4 weeks, I think it is a double. And there's a few other double tapings coming up. So maybe the reason that they're doing these Ring of Honor tapings is because they don't want to burn out the crowd and do 6-hour shows, when they're doing these double tapings. Or again, maybe it's all a coincidence and they're just going to do these tapings. Now, I like the idea of having these shows taped 3 weeks at a time. I do find the TV is better when you do that, rather than just hodgepodging all these matches together from different tapings. Like when you watch the Ring of Honor show, it's ridiculous. Like the arena changes match to match, and sometimes these matches that you're watching are like 2-3 months old, and you can tell because they have like a banner for like World's End up on the screen, and you're watching this in February. Like it's crazy. So I do like that, and maybe he even hands off Ring of Honor to somebody else. Sorry. Just had to get that
out. No. I see. It's interesting because I was excited about this news originally because your boy Jeff wants a studio wrestling show,
right,
with promos and squash matches more than anything on this earth. And I realized soon after, that's not going to be this. It's going to be dark, and it's going to be like 30-minute matches in front of 12 people instead of 2,000 people. And so,
well, I think they had a decent crowd. I mean, whether that stays or not, we don't know, right? I think it was 1,200.
I'm being facetious.
Okay, obviously, it's not 12, obviously. What?
For Ring of Honor, they had 1,200?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But free tickets. So, I mean, now whether or not people will keep coming, if what you say it is, they tried this once before. I don't know if you remember, but when they first started, they did like 2 months worth of tapings.
Yes.
And I remember our boy Ben Bishop that I interviewed for this website. That's when he worked a Ring of Honor taping, and I got him on the show, and we had a nice conversation. And I think the last I heard, he may have got a WWE tryout recently. So
he did.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but hopefully we'll see him on a
ball. I will say this, and this is no offense to anybody who is working at Ring of Honor, and I am all about getting paid. But my host on my other show said this, and he goes, Ring of Honor has no functional purpose in the wrestling landscape right now. It exists to exist.
The only functional purpose that I would say it has is, they do the 3 pay-per-views. Oh, no, it's not even that. No, you know what? You're right. There's no, yeah. I mean, it's extra work for the guys. That's it. Lady B says she saw a studio taping photos, and it looked very small. So
good. That's what studios are supposed to be.
True. And thank Lady B for joining us here tonight. I saw her in the Dynamite thread, and there was some questionable things on the show today. I liked some of the stuff that we saw on the show is stuff that we both really like. I know that, like things that we ask for. And then there's stuff that nobody asked for.
Paul, can I say that?
I'm looking at you, Jess and Cass. What?
Paul, there were parts of this show where I thought they took some of my comments and then they just decided to say, you know what, Hawkins, screw you. We're going to give you what you want, but in the worst way possible.
Okay. It was too long, yeah. Greg points out it could be their NXT. Thanks for joining us, Greg. Crowbar, our good friend here.
But they don't treat it like that, and that's the problem.
I mean, you've got Athena. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I'll tell this story. Somebody, New Japan had a show this weekend in Trenton, and they drew a nice crowd, 2,800 people, a lot of AEW people on the show. And I got a text from somebody that was sitting down to watch the show, and he says to me, I can't wait to see this women's match. I haven't been this excited for a women's match in I don't know how long. And I watch every single New Japan show, and I texted him back and I said, you know what? I've watched every show. Now, granted, there's a couple shows I haven't watched yet, but I will watch before I watch that Trenton show. I said, I have no idea what match you're talking about. Like I said, New Japan normally doesn't have women's matches on their show. And he's like, well, it's Syuri defending her New Japan Strong title against Athena. And I was like, cool. I'm like, I have not seen Athena all year. I don't know what she's doing. I assume she's wrestling Ring of Honor. I don't know. And I saw Syuri wrestle at the Tokyo Dome, and she's good. Like, I like Syuri. I mean, the match I was sure was going to be good, and it was. It was very good. It was probably the third best match on the show, and that is not a front. It was. I gave it 4.25 stars. It was a really good match, but I wasn't excited to see it. Like it was a match. And I mean, if you're excited to see Athena wrestle, God bless you, but I think you're in a very small number of people.
I'll say this. It's gone past the expiration date for me a bit because I was excited. I mean, she was on a real hot streak there about a year ago before they brought her up to do the tag team tournament and stuff like that. I mean, she was doing great heel work. The minion thing was clicking again.
It really works in Ring of Honor. I'm not sure it does in AEW.
Yeah, it's one of these things where I'm just like, now it's like, okay, great. She's been down there a long time. Now it's going to be a you deserve it. Come on up to the main roster
or thing. Not. Like, maybe that's all she wants to do. If she's getting paid, I assume she's being paid very well. There's no pressure on her at all. And, I mean, they say she carries the brand, and I guess technically that's true, but I mean, what is the brand? I mean, at least now they're doing separate tapings, but before they were just, oh yeah, this is 205 Live is what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love 205 Live. Don't get me wrong, but I stopped watching Ring of Honor a couple months ago because it was just like, this is dumb. And the thing is, they kept putting shows for free on YouTube, and that really pissed me off because I'm paying $10 $14 actually in Canada. $14 a month to watch this show, and then half the time they're putting the shows up for free on YouTube. I'm saying, screw this. And then they haven't put a show up for free on YouTube since I canceled. So whatever. Whose record is she trying to break now? They're all broken. They're literally all broken. She's had the title, I think, 4 years. She broke Samoa Joe's record a little while ago. I think it was the longest reigning, or maybe Jay Lethal. Longest reigning title of any kind in ROH, and now she's setting a record that'll never be broken. Maybe she's trying to be literally the forever champion. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah. I mean, she's good. Like, she's a good wrestler. I don't think she's a major league promo, but she's,
and that's the problem. I mean,
yeah.
Let's just stop there. I mean, I fight the people in this chat sometimes and people on the board and whatnot. I go, I'd much rather have a great promo than a great wrestler.
I'd like both.
Both is great. Don't get me wrong. It's not that. It's just one of those things where it's like,
all these bitches.
Yes, save it. Wrestling runs on personality more than technical proficiency, and it's something that we're gonna battle to quit this show.
Which maybe sooner than later, the way things are going.
Me or you? Hold on.
I'll be fine. But when you know what, when they're pushing a double main event and then the first supposed half of the double main event doesn't even get started until 20 minutes before the show is supposed to be over, and they go to commercial and the main event hasn't even started, and they come back when the show is supposed to be over and they're doing the ring introductions for the main event, I'm just like, what are we even doing? And then they take a commercial break at 10 minutes into the third hour. I'm like, at this point, why don't you just say the show is 2.5 hours long? If you do that, I can adjust my plans. I can start this podcast at, now.
Because Paul, it doesn't make you feel like you're getting extra.
I don't want extra. I don't want extra. Maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know. Let's get into this long ass show. Excalibur ran down the card to start. Always like that. They kept bringing up that this world title match, and at first I thought he said the main event, but it was actually the first match, was going to have limited commercial interruptions. They said this so many times. And the funny thing is, they did one commercial break like they do in every single match. I don't know what the point of telling us about limited commercial interruptions was, especially when you're going for near falls constantly. And then they keep telling you limited commercial. Like, what if the match ended in 7 minutes? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it wasn't gonna, but they
got another thing though, because last week they told us that Adam Page would be here to watch the match, and he didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. He wasn't there. He came in at the end, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But and they recapped the angle that led to the opener, which was cool. I know Lady B, for one, and probably there's a lot of other people, didn't watch Collision and was very curious about why MJF was defending his title against Kevin Knight. I will tell you, I watched Collision and I still wasn't sure why MJF was defending his title against Kevin Knight. He made the match, but I have no idea why.
I mean, it was almost like, okay, what's a trope? Well, before a big title match, the champion beats the guy's best friend. Okay, we'll do that. But but he won't do anything terribly evil to hurt him to affect the champion. He'll just win him beat him in a match. Okay.
Well, I think the idea is, and they didn't really hammer this home, so maybe I'm making this story up, but I think the idea was the evil thing he did was what happened after the match.
Yes.
Which we'll get into. Yeah. But so they had this match, and I messaged you when this match was done. You didn't respond, so I'm curious what you think.
I wasn't watching Twitter, so
okay, no, that's fine. But I'll just cut to the chase. They had a match. It was fine. MJF spent a lot of time wasting time, yelling at people in the crowd, mocking the very concept of pro wrestling. At one point, he just hit Kevin Knight in the face with his dick and knocked him over. He shouted out arm drag, like Kevin Knight didn't know what it was, and then Kevin Knight did 4 arm drags in a row. Like, it was really weird. And then like MJF ends up just winning clean, and it was like 15 minutes of television time that literally didn't accomplish a damn thing and didn't do any good for either guy. I have no idea what the point of this was at all. And then, but then the post match happened, so I guess that was the point.
Good, because here was my exact thought of the match before I ever read your tweet. I could give 2 shits about this match right now.
Okay.
This was a 20-minute Northeast Indie special where he's doing the small building heel work.
Yeah.
Yelling Jack Evans is a master of this too, but MJF is phenomenal at it, screaming arm bar. Oh, you like your technical, he's just going to talk crap to the crowd. Kevin Knight's going to have a good match. We're never really going to believe he has a chance to win this thing. We go home and it's kind of anticlimactic. So there we go.
There was one half decent near fall. But really, like, MJF basically won clean. I mean, I guess you can say like the ref got knocked out, and then Kevin Knight had a fake pin, and then when the ref came to, MJF kicked out.
There was
2.
that.
Yeah, the crowd counted to 10.
But this is Rick Knox's match, right?
Yeah.
That ridiculous long ass pin where he's standing up
and
going down, standing up and going down, and standing up, and then almost gets there, and that would have been Kevin Knight's win. Kevin Knight should have punched Rick Knox in the face.
Actually, you know what? I just realized something. What happened didn't even happen after this match. It was later on. So, he got the win with the heat seeker. I mean, clean. I mean, as clean as a heel is going to beat babyface. I mean, this was like Ric Flair, Brad Armstrong from like 1985. I mean, Kevin Knight's better than Brad Armstrong.
Well, he's better in the ring. He's not better on the mic. Yeah, I mean, he's okay. Well, he might be better on the mic.
Yeah,
they're about the same. But again, it gets to my thing where it's like, sometimes I think Tony wants a company of Brad Armstrongs. So I've said that before.
Well, he signed one that debuted today. That happened. So he I guess I think I missed something because I was writing something down. But did MJF knock over the ref after the match? And then Shivani was going on about how he's going to get fined.
I think so.
Okay, and then he puts on the ring.
Knox doesn't mind taking a bump. So yeah.
So then he puts on the ring and he threatens to hit Knight with it. And then Hangman shows up on the ramp and he stares down MJF. And while he's doing that, Speedball jumped into the ring from behind, hit MJF from behind with a thrust kick. And so he didn't get to do any more damage on Kevin Knight. And that was that. So, it was it's a good match. Not great. Nothing you need to go out of your way to see. Then we got Orange Cassidy and the Dogs. And the dogs are Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. And Darby and Orange Cassidy attacked the dogs during their entrance. But the dogs quickly came back. There was one spot where one of the dogs had Orange Cassidy. He had him in a chokehold, and he was standing on the ring steps and basically suspending him in midair. Then he let him go. And then Clark Connors, who is one of the dogs, speared Orange Cassidy off the barricade through a table. And at this point, they mentioned that the match hadn't even started. So they get back in the ring, and Orange Cassidy's laid out, and the dogs are double teaming Darby. And then they went to break. They're literally like 30 seconds into the match. So they come back, and by the time they're back, Orange Cassidy's back in the match. So I'm not even exactly sure what the point of all that was. But they, Darby's getting double teamed by the dogs, and Orange Cassidy made a hot tag. He hits a near fall on Clark Connors, who's one of the dogs, with a beach break, but then Kid broke it up. Then Darby was out on the apron. Orange Cassidy's being double teamed. Darby hit a stunner on Kid, who's one of the dogs. Then he hit a coffin drop on the outside onto one of the dogs, which is Kid. And then Orange Cassidy hit the orange punch on Connors. So him and Darby got a win over the dogs. And it was fine. Like it was fast, and it was like an NXT speed match. Like they just went, balls to the wall. And in fact, it was like 7 minutes, like the last NXT speed title match was, I think. I didn't look at the time, but it felt like about 7 minutes. And it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the we have to be here for this comedy spot with the belt type thing, and there's a little bit of that in there. My mind started to wander during this match too, unfortunately, and I noticed that Clark Connors, you shave the beard off and you cut the hair.
Oh,
would look like a young David Patrick Kelly. Now, if you don't know who that is, he played Luther in both The Warriors and 48 Hours.
Oh, okay.
Warriors come out to play.
There's a David Kelly and a Patrick Kelly, but a David Patrick Kelly. Okay.
Yeah, that's his name. He goes by three names. But no, I like Darby matches. They're always exciting. Yeah. So
it was fun. Yeah. And it was basically a setup for what was going to happen after, because immediately after the match, David Finlay shows up, and Tony Schiavone's like, I don't even know where he came from. Was he hiding under the ring the whole thing? Dude could have been sitting in the front row and nobody would have a clue who he was. So that's probably where he was. But he came in, he had a shillelagh like his dad is famous for, laid out Orange Cassidy and Darby. They mentioned that he's part of the dogs. Then they focused on Darby, laid him out again with the shillelagh, piled Orange Cassidy on top of him, and they posed over him. And I guess a tweet went out shortly after, and all three of these guys are now all elite. And they are, I guess, the dogs.
Paul, can I ask a practical question at this time?
Sure.
Did anybody on commentary tell you that this was Fit Finlay's son?
They did not.
They did not. I don't watch New Japan all that often. I've watched 3 matches. I kind of know who David Finlay is.
Well, they did tell us he's one of the biggest stars in New Japan, which is a bold-faced lie.
Hey, that.
What?
They say he's from New Japan, I think.
No, they said one of the biggest stars in the last couple of years in New Japan.
Great. I'm one of the most famous blah, blah, blahs from blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't matter. It's one of these things where it's just like, okay. But I liked it, but it's like, at the same time, I'm just like, okay, another faction. We're turning into New Japan 2008 or something.
Yeah. And clearly they're probably going to feud at some point with the Bullet Club Gold.
No. You could put Bullet Club Gold in here and you wouldn't even notice who the people were, because it'd be like Jay White, David Finlay, Clark Connors. They all are kind of the same and a little bit different.
You know who they could have brought in that would have stood out, but he signed with New Japan actually for another year is Drilla Maloney. I love that dude. Okay. He stands out. He looks like $1 million, and he's a great wrestler, and like he's not generic like Finlay. Like Finlay is so generic. That's the problem with Finlay. Like he's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong.
That's fine. But yes, again, genericness. You could bring these 4 guys and put them in against the Undisputed Era, and you'd just be going, look at the vanilla on this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, we're going to get Finlay and Connors against, Strong and Kyle. Whatever happened to Cool Kyle, by the way? He must have really got hurt. Because remember, he got that big win over John Moxley, and
yes,
then he disappeared.
Creative's got nothing for you.
Yeah. The Heat is on joined us, and he's coming out guns a-blazing. Being one of the biggest stars in New Japan right now is being like the nicest guy in prison.
I had a joke about this, but I can't say it anymore because it's not politically correct. But and also a movie stole it verbatim on a script that they wrote that became fairly famous. But it's like, my version of the joke was being the coolest guy in marching band is like calling yourself the prettiest girl with. Let's just say it's an allusion to the Special Olympics.
Oh, no. They're in the news.
And
curling
in 90. Oh, no, I did not. Are they cheating like the Canadians?
It's just something going on with curling at the Paralympics. Google it. I don't know what it is, but
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Something got. I think the rocks got stolen or something. Nobody's like curling is like the new.
Curling is the most corrupt sport in the world right now.
Yeah,
it's surpassed
World Cup
cycling, soccer. No, curling. You know what? I'm waiting for the bet. I'm waiting for like FanDuel or something to have a curling scandal because someone threw a stone the wrong way.
So then after this stuff with the dogs was done, we went backstage and we had a little thing with Bandito and Andrade. And this was Jeff's favorite Andrade. This is the Andrade that is completely delusional and thinks that Bandito is a fan that wants a selfie. But then he realizes, no, he's a wrestler and they're going to be wrestling at Revolution. And Bandito was just sat there confused and had to basically act like he was a fan looking for himself.
I think Andrade gets to work and steals Mookie's wardrobe. I'm fairly certain of this.
He had a great match on Friday.
Oh yeah. I saw.
Fuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I sought that out.
I was surprised that he didn't win. Actually, I thought he was going to win that title because it wasn't for the IWGP. It was for Tsuji's other title. But yeah. And you know what's funny is Takeshita won a belt on that show, and they never mentioned it on here tonight. Even though he's part of the Callis family.
Wasn't he like IWGP champ for 2 weeks and they didn't mention it until they did?
No, they mentioned it, but they didn't exactly focus on it. No, it was like 6 months. And it was, I mean, they mentioned it a bunch of times. But here,
I mean, when he actually won it, they waited for
they waited like 2 weeks before they mentioned it. Yeah, you're right about that. So next we got, and so when I watched Collision, I saw a promo from the Inspiration, and I immediately texted you, and when I realized what was happening, we're getting the Inspiration against the Brawling Birds on Dynamite. Now, they got a promo on Collision. They got a promo tonight during their entrance. And I'm thinking, okay, you got these Brawling Birds who have had a couple squash matches. Well, they've had a couple matches that were supposed to be squash matches that weren't. They were like 50-50 matches with jobbers. Where the jobbers got comebacks, and we were like they got an idea here. And the funny thing is the announcers are calling these matches like they're squashes, even though we can clearly see they're not. And I mean, if you're going to do that anyways, what's the point? Why not just do a squash? But no, so they do these 50-50 matches with jobbers, and then they do a promo after saying how they mowed through all the competition and all this, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, okay, now they're bringing in these iconics, the Inspiration. Obviously, they probably paid them a lot of money. They're giving them promo time. They're going to actually end up doing a 50-50 match with the Iconics. Oh boy, was I wrong.
I think that was the first FU to me on this show.
This was exactly what the last two matches should have been.
Yeah. Becca got more offense.
Way more. They got none. They got zero offense. None. Zero. Why did he sign these two?
He signed. Here it is. He signed them for either this match or to get killed by Megan Bain and somebody. And
or is it like so Statlander can get revenge on the fact that she had to job to them on Raw like 5 years ago?
Maybe
you remember that?
maybe Billy Kay laughed at a joke of his once. I don't know.
Or is it that they're friends with Harley and Harley sings their theme song?
That's possible too. This is baffling in every single way, and my God, did this promo also stink?
I didn't even watch it. I didn't. It was during the intros. I saw the inset. I didn't even bother.
Number one of the best things about the act was that they didn't look alike, and now they look alike.
What are you talking about? I could never tell them apart. Ever.
Okay.
They look way more alike than the Bellas. and not in
WWE they didn't. One had dark hair.
No, in NXT. In NXT maybe. They did. Yeah.
Okay, but nevertheless, this was the ultimate Tomax and Zaymot promo. I say half a sentence. You say the other half. And then we end on the dismount saying things together.
We are the inspiration. Yeah.
You know, that thing.
Iconic. Good Lord. Oh my God. And yeah.
It's a shame because Billy Kay, look, Peyton Royce / Cassie Lee can wrestle. Billy Kay has actual comedy chops. And we just decide to eschew all of those things and do this.
And just do a squash. And I mean, okay, obviously they got plans for the Brawling Birds, and this was a great squash match win. But if they could do this to the Iconics, why couldn't they do it to freaking Becca and whoever her partner was? And that team last week, I think it was on Collision. I can't even remember. Like, these were jobbers. Like, I gotta look it up. Their names.
Was it Viva Van and somebody or no?
No. Viva Van was Becca's partner. Okay. Hang on. Brawling Birds cage match. Brawling Birds tag team. Here we go. I gotta see this matches. Gypsy Mac and Tyra Rusami. They went 3 minutes and 3 seconds with these two, and there's no way they got more than 50% of the offense. And if I ever see Gypsy Mac and Tyra Rusame again in anything other than a squash match, it'll be too soon. Like, these two have zero future in this business. I apologize if you're a fan of either one of these two young ladies, but I mean, if they could do this to the Iconics, why couldn't they done these two? I was thinking after this match, they should have looked at the script and pulled a Nixon Newell and said, "Nah, this doesn't work for me." But I guess
click at Nixon because you dropped tonight.
Yeah.
Wasn't that in El Paso too? No, it was in Texas, but it wasn't El Paso. Okay.
Now if they come out here every week and they just job to whoever, I mean, I suppose it could be fun. But why are you spending money on something like that?
Because they're going to be Ring of Honor tag team champions for the women and probably be in Athena's crew. And
they don't even have a tag team for the women.
They will now, baby.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, that was that. They have a finisher now. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Good name. I like it.
It was a good name, and it was a good move too. It was like, I think it was like a clothesline. One of them clotheslined one of the jobbers over the other one's back or something, and then pinned them.
Right, but this inspiration match was not good.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even a match. I mean, it was like a minute. Yeah.
But I mean, they were mistiming things even in this minute. So
yeah. And then we got what was advertised as Hangman Page in action. And
this is FU number 2 to me. You know this, right? It's like, Hawkins wants a squash match. We'll make it Hangman Page, who doesn't need a squash match. All right, cool. Yeah.
So Hangman Page against I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who it was. I don't think they said his name.
I think it was Martin Frost or something like that. Does that? No, I don't know.
Okay. Additional events, because they don't even have the Dynamite results up yet here on Cage Match. The card. Here we go.
By the way,
it's not up here. It's not up here. Okay. So I don't know who this dude was. But
they're letting Lady Frost's contract expire. Hey, how about that? They used her twice too. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, a little more than twice, but I mean, WWE should pick her up. She's really good. I like Lady Frost. It was one move. He hit him with a buckshot, and that was it. And this was totally this was Mid-Atlantic studio. They used to do this all the time.
Yes.
You one move, And then
although in my mind with the belt, I kept thinking, oh yeah, Hangman's champ. Oh wait, no, he's not.
yeah. So he does the move, and then he gets the pin, and then he grabs from Mike, and he says, "I'm going to make this short." So that was my cue. Okay, we got a long segment coming up here. He says, "His ass ain't the one I wanted to beat tonight, Max. I put my entire future at stake for the chance to do what your parents should have done, and that's teach you a lesson. For years, you have sneered and scoffed at me for being what I think is a human being with a basic conscience. Well, let me warn you, Max, at Texas Death, I have no conscience. I will rip you, I will tear you, and I will let you lie dead when I'm finished with you. And Max, you are the world champion, so surely that doesn't scare you. And you've already shown that you're itching to punch someone in the head with your diamond ring. So why don't you slip that one back on your pinky? Come out here and show me what good it'll do you at Revolution." And this, I thought, was a good promo. He started with emotion, like you always want him to do, and just stayed at the same level. Like it was good. Like you can tell he's pissed off and wanted to fight.
Then comes the best thing on this show.
So Max comes out. He says, "It's bad enough I got to be in this C-tier town of El Paso. Did you not just see me whip your boy Kevin Knight's ass? You all saw it. Well, it's bad enough I got to see you all next week at the press conference." What the hell is he talking about? "Don't make me come out there and wipe your ass, cowboy." Or whip your ass, cowboy. I wrote down wipe your ass. And then so Hangman is staring at him. MJF staring at him from the ramp, and then he gets attacked from behind.
Yes,
by 3 members of the Don Callis family.
An attack that looks like an attack. I love it.
Takeshita, Fletcher, and Fletcher, Okada, and Mark Davis. Mm-hmm. And MJF is looking at this like he totally knew it was coming, and he walked away laughing. And you get the sense, although they never said this, he worked out some sort of deal with Don Callis that this was a setup. I think. I maybe I'm making up stories in my own mind. I don't know. But is that what you think happened here?
Yeah, I think. Look, he's hired the Don Callis family before. I figure he did it again.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so they laid him out. MJF walked away laughing. Davis took him down with a lariat. Jet Speed made the save with chairs. So Don Callis comes out. Lance Archer's behind him, and the crowd's chanting, "Fuck Don Callis." "I have something important to say. I look up there in that ring and I see 3 champions. I also see 3 greedy, entitled millennial punks. I mean, it's not enough you got these 3 trios belts. Hangman, you want the world title. Kevin Knight, you're coming after the international title. And you, Speedball, you're coming after the great Kyle Fletcher and the TNT title, right? Well, one thing I hate is a greedy guy. And all I've heard about is what you guys want." And at this point, the crowd is going nuts. And he's like, "Everyone be quiet so I can talk. So I can tell you what Don Callis wants. Guys, I couldn't help but hear on Collision. What was the term you used? Any place, any time? You said you would defend these titles any place, any time. Well, I have a very important announcement to share with this building. When I heard you say that on Collision, I got to thinking. So I had a conversation with Tony Khan. The place, El Paso, Texas." You know, huge pop. "The time is tonight. The main event of Dynamite. You 3, the Trios champions, will wrestle tonight. You'll put the Trios titles on the line against Mark Davis and Proto Okada. And after we beat you, the Trios champions will belong to Don by God Callis." This is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, of course, now we know why Kevin Knight had to wrestle MJF in the opener and why he had to take that beating after the match and all that, because he was coming in, compromised. And Hangman, he had that difficult match with the jobber that he hit with one move.
So tough.
Yeah. But both of them had to wrestle twice on Dynamite. I can't remember the last time that's happened. It must have at some point, but I don't remember. But yeah, it was kind of cool. This is like the Kevin Knight show tonight. But yeah, this was a great promo from Don Callis. How'd you like my delivery? I thought it was pretty good.
No, I liked it a lot.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm no Don Callis, but we're both from Winnipeg. It's something in the water here. Then we go to a backstage segment that was just a little bit of a step down from Don Callis. It was Renee with the Bucks and FTR earlier today. And they're in a room with a table. FTR was late, but they show up with Stoke. Renee reminds.
Hold on. This is FU number 3 to Jeff.
Okay, what's that?
Who loves this is a staple of Crockett. This meeting in the boardroom about signing a contract and stuff. You had the Magnum, Nikita. You had Dusty and Tully. I believe you had Dusty and Flair do it once. Yeah, it somebody jumps over a table, becomes a nice physical brawl or something like that. It's something usually happens in this
because Tony Khan made them sign a no contact order,
Mm-hmm.
or Renee did, I guess. And yeah, so, and you know what's funny now? This is becoming a trope because whenever they do the no contact thing, somebody's getting beat up. It's just not going to be the people in the actual
look for whoever's on the outskirts. Yeah, somebody's getting punched.
And that was Brandon Cutler this week, because he was there filming all this, even though the AEW production crew was also filming everything. But yeah, so Dak says the 3 greatest tag teams of the millennium were the Briscoes, the Bucks, and FTR. When we beat you guys, we will be the best tag team of this millennium. And at Revolution, we can finally say chapter closed. And then Nick says, this is different. You put your hands on our family. You pile drove our brother. You pushed our mom and dad. Cash says, that was self-defense. And Matt says, this won't be about winning those belts. It's revenge for our family. Our kids were at ringside. It's taken me and my brother everything not to kick the living shit out of you right here. But we're not going to do it right now. We want to do it in LA at Revolution in front of our entire family when they sit ringside and leave you in a puddle of your own piss and blood. Matt was trying here, but he just doesn't have it. And then I think Dak said, I hope your family's there too, so we can teach them another lesson. If you're not mature enough to handle this professionally, we'll remove ourselves from the situation. And then he stands up and he sees Brandon and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, that no contact order, that only applied to us. And then he hits Brandon Cutler and leaves. And Renee, you hear, can we get a walker? I don't know. Poor Brandon.
Yeah.
Although I shouldn't say poor Brandon because I think he's collecting. I don't know if he still is, but at one point he was collecting 2 paychecks to do nothing. And he was doing production and as talent. But I don't know that he actually wrestles anymore.
What's the Jeff Hawkins mantra?
Get paid.
Get paid.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fine. Then we got. Now I was positive this was going to be the opener when this card was announced. John Moxley versus Hechicero, because I think John Moxley's opened every single show.
Yes, he has. That's been the entire story since he's been doing this 7 tests of Don Callis, which we're not calling 7 tests of Don Callis.
Well, with the 436,000 combinations of Death Riders versus Callis family that somebody worked out that there is. And this was number 113,624, a singles match between John Moxley and Hechicero. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's an eliminator match, which I didn't see when it was first announced. I'm sure I just didn't notice it. I'm not saying they didn't say it. But they did the Renee from the crowd again. So it's like they only do this during John Moxley matches. And yeah, I didn't hear what she said because I've long given up on listening to it. But yeah, and they did a match. I mean, it was every John Moxley match that you've seen for the last 2 months. I mean, it was different because Hechicero is a different kind of wrestler than most of the guys he wrestled. So there's a lot of submission stuff. Hechicero, took a lot of the match, but a lot of these guys that Moxley wrestles do that. And then Moxley eventually comes back. They pointed at, oh, sorry.
Okay. Let me, before you get back to it, I want to just touch on something that happened in the walkout. It's okay. Marina is talking to the camera going, make us laugh, Tony, or say something funny, Tony. I was like, okay, I guess Tony Storm, Tony Schiavone, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, so I didn't see that, but yeah, she mentioned Tony later on, and I figured out that she was talking about Tony Storm, but too many damn Tonys on the show, and you probably need to use a last name.
Number 2, I was disappointed in this match. I don't think Hechicero had a good night on this match. It was too much of this. Well, I mean, but usually he'll be able to like do some moves and stuff. And he'll be like, man, he's awesome. And this, it felt like Moxley was almost fighting him on some of these moves.
It was almost like they were having like a real like kind of MMA grappling match as opposed to a pro wrestling match. A lot of moves on the ground and like Moxley was struggling to get out of a lot of them. And so Hechicero's thing that's really impressive is when he reverses someone's offense and puts on like a move, and that none of that was happening here. Like Hechicero works really good with luchadors, where they're flying around and he's just catching them and like snapping their arm and stuff like that.
Or smaller guys, he can do that.
Moxley and Hechicero are too similar in a way.
I just don't think Moxley can do like roll throughs as well as other guys.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, they were trying to do like they were trying to do Hechicero and Zack Sabre Jr. or something.
Yes,
and way better than Mox at this type of thing.
Mox's reach sometimes exceeds his grasp on what he wants to do, and I find that admirable. But at the same time, it's like you're kind of a brawler, dude. Let's just brawl.
Yeah, exactly. He's won Wrestling Observer Best Brawler like 7 times or something. So this was his 6th eliminator match, and Shivani said that this is a plan by Don Callis to hurt him before Revolution. Well, good work there. That's smart. So one point Hechicero drops his straps like he's Jerry Lawler, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, this dude is kind of fat, which you don't really notice when his straps are up. But they got a "This is awesome" chant at one point after they sat on their hands for most of the match. They did the spot where they're rolling around the ring, and they eventually ended up in a pinfall for 2. Then Hechicero gets up, missed a drop kick. Mox hit a stomp. Hechicero's on his knees, and he gives him the double bird, and that's usually when you know the guy's dead. So Mox hits him with a double knee. Then he hit the Death Rider, and he got the pin. So after the match, Mox is leaving through the crowd. Takeshita comes out to check on Hechicero after Mox has already left, and he's staring down, and he's pointing at the Revolution sign, and I'm like, okay, that's a WWE thing, pointing at the sign, but now he's doing it, so it's kind of weird. But it's funny. Everyone thinks Takeshita's turning babyface, and I'm not saying he won't, but there's nothing in the storytelling here that to lead you to believe that he is. He is a loyal Don Callis family member. Like, I don't know.
I'm somewhat frustrated.
Okay.
So I gotta be honest with you. It's like, when it happens, everybody will go, look, long-term storytelling. And I'm going, look, no-term storytelling. They're just kind of saying things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's like when he first debuted and he was a baby face and they were long-term, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually he joins the Callis family. See, we told you. It's like, yeah. So then Brody. Oh, so this frustrated me too. Because after this was done, they put up a thing that says, okay, coming up after this match, we're going to have the first half of our double main event. And they kept saying double main event so many times because I think they were trying to prove that the women weren't being put in the death spot.
Yes.
But they said after this match, we're going to see the first of our double main event, Tekla defending the world title against Thunder Rosa. And then they come back from break and we don't get Thunder Rosa and Tekla. We got Brody King. And he comes out.
Standby promo.
Yeah, standby promo. Yeah. He comes out and the fans were barking. I did not hear any fuck ice chants. I don't know about you, but
did not.
Yeah, and I'm surprised actually because we're in freaking El Paso and maybe they're afraid Ice was going to show up and I shouldn't say this. I'm going to stop myself right there.
Lady B was proud of me earlier for not going to the joke.
They did not chant. But they were really into Brody. Like, I do think he's getting over. Because they're barking. He asks for a mic and he says, Swerve, I know, I can't be like you. I can't stand on an announce table and tell everyone how dangerous I am. I don't need to do that because I know I'm the most dangerous man in AEW. So get your ass out here and I'll prove that tonight. I like this. I don't know. I
should have happened before his world title match, perhaps, but okay.
Maybe. So then we hear Brody. And it's Prince Nana, of course, with the mic. Says, Brody, I hear you loud and clear, but are you sure you want to do this, my friend? You want to go down that rabbit hole with the man himself? Are you sure about that, Brody? And Brody's like, quit talking and bring his ass out here. And so Nana says, okay, without further interruption, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to the most dangerous man in AEW, Swerve Strickland. And he points to the curtain or whatever, the entrance. And he stares at the entrance and the music hits. And the camera actually shot this really well because you're waiting for Swerve. And then all of a sudden they cut to the ring and Swerve had jumped Brody. And it's funny. Usually I can see these things coming. And I was totally expecting Swerve to just come out there with a mic and do a promo battle with him. And he didn't. And I was really happy about that. and he laid him out with a house call. And I marked down here, for all these people that think he's a tweener, he's a heel. He wrapped the chain around Brody's throat, tied it to the top rope, jumped out of the ring, pulled him up from the ground, starts choking him out. Brody's trying to fight it off. Swerve is mocking him with barks. And then he said, a dog in heat is going to holler Brody, I think he said. And then he's like, you know how you chain a dog up? Just like this. Now, I needed to send a message to Kenny Omega, and I did that. Now I'm sending the same message to you. This whole roster's on notice. You talk about being the most dangerous man. Well, it's another to actually prove it. So guess what? I'll be seeing you in Los Angeles at Revolution. And for your information and a little reminder, I hope you'll be in Los Angeles too. And then finally, Bandito came out and made the save. Excalibur says he got there in the nick of time because Brody's face was turning purple. I like this segment. I mean, even though it put off the one half of the double main event, I liked it.
No, that's fine. I'm going to give you a hint for you to work on your Nana impression. Wherever there's a punctuation mark, do his laugh. And then
okay. I when I started recapping that, I was thinking about trying to do a Nana promo, and I gave up. So that's probably what you heard.
Like you were trying.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
and I just gave up.
There?
But with Callis, I got into it, and I was like, okay, I think I got this.
It's great,
Yeah.
Go listen to Jay Moore do his stuff. It's fantastic. Guys sound like each other all the time. Note number 2, he hanged him again. I'm just saying, it's there. We can see it. It has to be covered, right?
What?
Swerve and Hangman as a
force.
Now that he's lost the triple tag.
Okay,
yes,
so
please.
Do you think he's winning the world title?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well,
everyone thinks he is, and like he's losing, man. No, I won't.
I thought he was last week. I think it's gonna be a psychic break for him not to win it this time.
That's what I think. And then he's gonna go. Him and freaking Swerve are gonna be running.
And he's gonna get rid of that stupid. I lied, dumbass. And then he's just gonna get a world title shot.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, if he did that, or we said we had to agree on the stip, and we didn't.
Yeah,
that would be so bad.
Yeah, it has to be punctuated with dumbass because that's his most over phrase, to be honest.
That is true. That is true. Well, that and fuck ice.
Cowboy shit. No. I meant
cowboy shit. Yeah. Then we went to another standby promo, and it was the Death Riders in the stairwell or wherever the hell.
Oh, F
Daniel Garcia.
Promo. F this promo.
Don Callis family. Are you stupid or are you dumb? I guess Mercedes is back.
Oh, Mercedes ought to come back and hit him in the balls for that. Yeah. That is gimmick infringement 101. Yeah. I serve him a court order and get him into wrestler court.
Yeah. When will you stop picking fights you can't win? Then freaking Wheeler Yuta.
with 3 weeks of growth.
With his hat. You're waiting for some babyface to pull it off. Now, they did do it on Collision, but you didn't see it, and they didn't recap it. But Wheeler just pulls his own hood off. This is the first time we've seen him on Dynamite.
Can I ask something here, Paul?
Yes.
Tony Khan, alleged fan of Mid-South, alleged fan of territory wrestling, can't get a hair stip correct. The whole point. And we saw the former Johnny TV, John Morrison, do it fantastic.
Oh, I didn't hear what happened in that. Did he lose?
He lost his hair.
Okay.
Got gigged by the barber because he's trying to dig too much into the hair, but reacted perfectly to the side of him being bald. Almost basically took a bump when he touched his head.
Is he going to show up with a long wig?
Yeah, I don't know yet. Okay. I don't know, but I'd love that.
Yeah,
I'd love this is the place for the unrepentant stupidity.
Yeah.
Buddy Roberts and the headgear after doing the
Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Punk with the mask and the Straight Edge Society.
Yeah.
Where he actually did end up losing most of his hair and probably had to get a little bit of help there to help his hairline come back. So Wheeler he has a buzz cut. Wow, you're now the other Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. So he says, take a look at me, okay? Losing my hair was the darkest moment of my career. The Death Riders are the reason I'm prepared every day for war. Every week I come out here, thousands of people are screaming hateful things at me, but I know the people who care about me most have my back. Then Marina says, Tony, you better shoot from the hip and make me laugh, you pussy. And Moxley loses it when she says it. And then she looks up and says, yeah, they all are. She's a bunch of punk asses. The Callis family, CMLL, New Japan. Was that the baddest guy you had? No one does it like we do it. Ain't no team like this team. No team goes as long as us and as far as us. To catch that revolution, me and you, we're going to go as long and as far as it takes. And me and you are going to see this through all the way to the end. I mean, Moxley's part was all right. Marina made me laugh.
Can't give two flying Fs about Wheeler and I thought that this might help Daniel Garcia. It has not helped Daniel Garcia.
No,
Wheeler Yuta's all that character work Wheeler Yuta was doing now sucks. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I mean, I do think Wheeler is better than he was before he started with them, but Garcia definitely is not.
Here's the thing, Paul. I would rather just have them talk as themselves. Try and say something they would say than this Stanford scripted crap in gimmick. Okay? Try and find something within the gimmick in yourself that makes it sound remotely authentic. That's all.
How about something like, you cut my hair every day when I look in the mirror, I'm remembering how humiliating that was. And every time I come out here and these people chant what they chant at me, I'm going to take it out on every one of the people that you like.
Or make him delusional.
And these guys behind me are going to back me up because they're
if you're making him serious, if you're making him delusional, say, hey, chicks dug my hair and you took that away from me.
Yeah, you could do this. Lady B asks if Daniel Garcia is better or worse. I mean, it's neutral, I think. He is DOA.
He's the same. He is the exact same.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I honestly think Moxley saw something in him and thought he could do something with him. And I feel like
sees something in him, and he has something in him. It's just then they decide, okay, time for your character stuff. And I don't know if it's that Garcia isn't into that part of wrestling, because that could be a very big possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know him for a fact, but we could probably ask Thurston.
I feel like Moxley gave up on him like 3 months ago.
I don't know if it's Moxley even. I think it just might be Tony.
Oh, could be. Yeah. Or just him, even himself. He's just not feeling it, but he's going to keep doing it because he gets paid a lot of money and
it's
a good spot on the card. Yeah.
Going home and getting a job. Yeah.
Then we got the first half of the double main event. Thunder Rosa and Tekla. And they start the match, and I thought the crowd was going to be super into Thunder Rosa because it's El Paso, and I think she's billed from there, although I'm not positive.
Yes.
Well, they say she's from Tijuana, don't they? But I think she's actually from El Paso.
Is she? Okay, I thought she might be from San Diego, but I might be
But
wrong.
they say she's from the graveyards of Tijuana, like in the entrance. So, but she came out like a house of fire, and they went through a break. When they came back, Excalibur explained that Tekla had been in control during the break. I didn't watch it, so I assumed
she was.
Right. Yeah. But then, they kind of go back and forth, and, Rosa gets a couple nice near falls. It was a nice match. There was one spot where Tekla did the spider suplex, then she did the spider walk, then she hit the spear. She pulled her up, and normally that gets like a loud reaction from the crowd, and they didn't react at all.
Nothing.
Then she laid in forearms, went for a stomp, missed it. Rosa hit a low kick, then she hit a cutter, then she hit the Fire Thunder driver for 2. That got a great reaction. Then she went for it again. Tekla escaped. She escaped she ducked a lariat with the Matrix move. Then she hit a spear. Then she hit a stomp. Then she hit another stomp, and then she pinned her like she just like a very casual, like definitive pin. She might as well just pinned her with one foot. I like this. I thought it was Thunder Rosa got some stuff in, but it was basically this is the champ and this is a challenger.
There wasn't any of that. The Sisters of Sin didn't get involved until after. It was just one person proving their dominance over. And again, this is twice in a week, but it's a move I love. although I only really love it in squashes, to be honest with you. So it only worked on Raw. The heel picking up the challenger at 2. It's such a
and then winning. Because usually when that happens, they lose.
They get hoisted on their petard, yeah.
Yeah. And here they won. I mean, it wasn't immediate, but she didn't win. So, yeah, it was good. Then she hits her with another stomp after the match, and then Statlander made the save. You said the Sister Sin never got involved at all, I don't think. I didn't even see
No, they did not. No, they were on the ramp when she came out or something.
When she came out, yeah. Statlander she had a bit of a different look.
I liked this look. I think this look is fantastic.
She reminded me, speaking of The Matrix, she reminded me of the Keanu Reeves character in The Matrix.
Oh, I was thinking Carrie-Anne Moss, but okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. You know what? I mean, and that very well may be. I've never seen The Matrix, but
I haven't either. And everybody's like, "You've never seen The Matrix?" I go, "I haven't seen a single one of the Matrix movies." That's when I was working graveyard, so I never watched.
Hang on, The Matrix.
Or no, I was in clubs, so yeah.
Oh God, yeah. No, that's 100% right. Yeah,
okay,
that's exactly what she was doing. So yeah, I don't know if it's a coincidence that she used the Matrix move, but yeah, that was totally 100%.
So Statlander comes out, and then David Finlay and the dogs come out and keep her from attacking Tekla. Right.
I had to put this up. Now Thunder Rosa can go back to reviewing WWE shows on Busted Open.
Wow.
Yeah, that was The Heat is on. Everybody, direct your hate mail to him. Although he's not the one that put it up on the screen. So they promised us a recap of last week's Mile High Mayhem, but what it really was a Jack Perry promo. And he said, last week, to cap off Mile High Madness, I pinned Ricochet for the 3rd time. He doesn't point out that he's also been pinned by Ricochet a couple times in singles matches. Every time the odds have been
even. Let's
not
dwell on the past, Paul. Let's look to the future.
Well, then he says, every time the odds have been even, I've beaten you, which is a lie. Every time it's really counted, you and the Gates of Agony have found a way to cheat. That's probably true. Pretty soon, it'll be time for you and I to finish this war. And then Ricochet says, listen here, Jack. Y'all know I'm the most fighting champion in AEW, and if it's a fight you want, it's a war you want, you're going to get it. Because when you're in the demand, you can make demands. And that was that. So I guess we're getting this match again. Actually, I think they may have announced it at some point. But yeah, that was fine. I guess we're getting this match again 3 times now. Did the exact same setup in every single time, and I would imagine we're going to get the same finish.
Bob Briggs School of Sequels. Just do the same movie over again.
Yeah. Although the rule of 3 says Perry wins this time.
Probably does. Gets another 2 months. Gets one challenger. Defends against Ricochet after that.
Can you imagine Jack Perry going around to all these indies and defending the belt, though? Like, Ricochet's the perfect guy for this belt.
Has Ricochet been to any indies?
Yes. Oh, he's done a ton of them. He did one on Friday. He wrestled Taiji Ishimori.
Let's give this to Daniel Garcia and let him go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Tommaso Ciampa. That'd be great. Speaking of Tommaso Ciampa,
man, as a kid, didn't you want him traveling all over the place? Okay.
We got another standby promo before the actual main event, and it was Renee. She says, please welcome Tommaso Ciampa. So he comes out here, gets his full entrance. I'm like, I swear to God, at this point, I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, what are we doing? Like, but anyways, we get Tommaso Ciampa out, and she says, you've been so impressive so far. You had an instant classic with Mark Briscoe to win the TNT title. What do you plan to do to get back on top? And Ciampa says, Kyle Fletcher took my TNT title and renamed her from Sylvie to Pinky, and now he's hiding in tag matches and trios matches. Kyle knows the second we run this back, you're looking at the new TNT champion right here. And if I got to play his games, Renee, then I'll earn my rematch. If I got to go to war again with Mark Briscoe, I'll do that. But I didn't come here for instant classics. I came here to be a top guy. That was a key line right there. And then Renee says, tell me about your history with Mark Briscoe. I was like, fuck, let's get to the main event, Renee. Like, shut up. I don't care about Mark Briscoe. He's not even here. And then we get FTR's music. I'm like, what? So Dax comes out. He hugs him. And then Cash joined the hug. And Dax says, I'm just here to welcome an old friend to AEW. And earlier, I heard you talk about being a top guy here in AEW. Yeah, earlier, like 30 seconds ago. And I couldn't think of a better way than to surround yourself with top guys. So I'm going to extend an olive branch to you. I'd love for you to join us and take over this company, old friend. Ciampa says, yeah, that's just what I was thinking. I hated you guys 10 years ago, and I sure as hell hate your guts today. And then Dax says, doesn't matter how good of friends we are, we're not. Oh, yeah, and he also threw some insult to Stokely. And he says, you don't speak to Big Stoke that way. If you got a problem with Big Stoke, you got a problem with us. And then Ciampa says, earlier tonight, you guys signed a no contract clause with the Young Bucks, but you didn't sign one with me. And then he decks Cash in the face. Cash broke it up. And then Dax says, I'm not mad at you. I'll see you Saturday at Collision. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, we're getting Dax and Ciampa on Collision. Cool. That'll be a fun match. I was also thinking, Johnny Gargano's contract up? Like, I don't know. Do you know? Like, the shit they've been doing with him on Raw and on SmackDown, like, he's hanging around on a box sleeping.
Yeah, and Candice keeps going, don't wake him. So I think,
like, if he shows up on Collision, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I'm not reporting anything, and people keep telling me
Tony wants to sign him.
He didn't want to sign
him before.
This sure felt like a setup for a tag team match with FTR.
Yeah, with Briscoe and Ciampa, probably.
Could be that. Yeah, it could be Briscoe. Although Briscoe says he never wants to do a tag team match again, and I don't think he has. He said he never wants to tag with anybody besides his brother. So he's done 6-mans, but I don't think he's actually done a straight tag. Anyways, then we get another promo. It's like, fuck you. And I thought it was Renee with Orange Cassidy, and but it was actually Toni Storm. And because I think she had her back to the camera or something. And it was just him talking, so I assumed it was Renee, but no. So he says, I got put through a table and I got hit in the face with a shillelagh. But if they want to fight, well, we'll fight him at Revolution. We'll fight him next week. We'll fight him after that. And then Tony turns around and she's like, where there are war dogs, there are death riders, and there's no better behind to be behind than this behind. She said something about a nicotine chewing Nazi, and I just couldn't. She said a bunch of other stuff, and I'm not even complaining. The promo was pretty good, but when she said nicotine chewing Nazi, I kind of lost it. And that was that. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay. I was like, at this point, I was like, get to this fucking main event already. Pardon my French, but I was very frustrated. So then finally they do the intros, and during the intros, the champs got attacked before the bell, and I was like, okay, maybe this is just gonna be an angle and we're not even gonna have a match. Remember, a couple of weeks ago they did that MJF match, and it was like a minute, and then they did a promo after. Nope. They did a full main event. I mean, they started it at 9:02 my time, 10:02 Eastern, and I think they went to 10:18. So it was a full match. It was a good match, a really good match. Callis was on commentary. He said, so next week on Dynamite, it's going to be Kyle Fletcher and Speedball for the TNT title. And Callis like, yeah, we're fighting champions. We'll put our titles on the line anytime, no problem. And then Shivani says, well, yeah, you have a week. These guys only had an hour. And then Callis says, well, they shouldn't have said they'd put their titles on the line anytime, should they? I was like, damn, he's got a point. So then they announced so the money matches are back. So we'll probably get a long string of these. But $200,000 for the winner. Did you catch these teams?
No, I did not.
Private Party. Swirl.
Hey, how about that?
The Outrunners.
Yay!
Yeah. And your winners, LFI, Roosh and Jalistico. Roosh is back.
I love Roosh. I wish it was somebody. I wish it was Roosh and Mordos. I'd take that.
Oh, yeah. We're also going to get Claudio and Takeshita. I don't believe either of their titles are on the line because they weren't mentioned. But they mentioned the last time they wrestled, they went to a draw in the Continental Classic. So that was good. You know, what they never mentioned on this, and I'm surprised and a little disappointed. They didn't mention that the last time Kyle Fletcher and Speedball wrestled, Speedball beat him.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because it didn't matter.
Well, it should have mattered. It should have been the reason they're doing this match.
I'm tired of yelling at continuity.
Okay.
If they want to tell you it's important, and then it's no longer important all of a sudden. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
And then they put up a graphic: Swerve versus Gravity.
Oh, hell yes.
I've forgotten Gravity existed, but they reminded us he is the brother of Bandito, who is the partner of Brody King. So yeah, okay.
Swerve. I hope Gravity. That Swerve tries to hang Gravity and Gravity just floats. He does.
See what you did there. And FTR versus the Rascals for the TNT Tag Team titles, because I think a couple weeks ago the Rascals won an eliminator match. And then I'm like, wait a minute.
In another world, I would love a 3-month feud of these two.
Yeah.
Without wrestling all that much. Just a feud. Old school Arn, Tully, Ricky, and Robert. That's what I want, man.
I want FTR breaking up the sesh.
I want them breaking somebody's leg.
I want them showing up while they're having their sesh and just destroying them.
But I mean, just stomping on a leg until one of the guys can't go. Maybe put one in a plastic face mask. I'm here for all the old school crap.
Yes, 55-year-old Paul Fontaine said sesh a couple times. I know what a sesh is. And then, but I thought they were doing Ciampa and Dax. Didn't they just make that match like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Ciampa's just gonna be there watching. I don't know. But I mean, it'll be a great match. I'm sure the last one was awesome. So the announcers weren't even calling the match. They were talking about all the different matches that happened. So I wasn't paying attention either. Then I started paying attention when they started calling it. So Hangman was going wild on the heels, sent them out of the ring, did a dive on Davis and Okada, posed on the turnbuckle. Then Fletcher got in the ring. The babyfaces all hit moves on him. Then they hit a three-way drop kick. Davis and Okada made the save. They went to a break 10 minutes after the show was supposed to be over. They come back from the break. The heels have Kevin Knight in the ring. They're working him over. Callis puts him over as one of the best athletes in AEW. He makes a hot tag to Speedball. Speedball does this amazing babyface comeback. He does an over-the-top moonsault on the Fletcher. Then he goes wild on Mark Davis, hit him with a missile drop kick. Crowd is going batshit crazy. Fletcher got back in the ring. Bailey's nailing him with the kicks. Hit a shooting star press, but Davis broke it up. But he hit Kyle on the save. Then Bailey took him out, missed a double stomp. Fletcher hit a thrust kick, went for a pile driver. Bailey reversed it, hit sudden impact. Okada broke that up. Bailey nailed Okada with a thrust kick. Then Davis and Hangman both got in the ring. Hangman hit a dead eye. Fletcher broke up the pin. Kyle blocked a couple kicks. Tried to throw Bailey, but he got hit with a Rana. Then Bailey dove on him to the outside. So I think that's the last we saw of Bailey. Then Hangman went to the top, missed a moonsault. Clothesline Davis twice, but Davis stopped the third. Hangman skinned the cat, hit a lariat on Davis. Then he did a tag. He tagged in Knight. MJF nailed Page, took him out of the match. Okada hit a Rainmaker on Knight. Davis hit him with a pile driver and pinned him. So new trios champs. Mark Davis actually got the pin.
Mark Davis wearing gold in AEW.
You know what? And half Aussie Open is back together.
Yeah.
Fletcher and Davis, like they never even mentioned it because I don't think they want us to remember that Kyle Fletcher was part of a tag team.
Well, no. Excalibur said best tag team out of Australia.
Okay.
Aussie Open.
Yeah.
I was just hoping for a portmanteau of Protocada Aussie Open.
Yeah. Protocada Open. There you go. But yeah, it was new trios. I swear to God, this like quote unquote push for Mark Davis is all because Brian Alvarez said that they won't do anything with him since Jake something was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's wrestled on TV, I think literally every week. And now he's got a belt. And MJF mockingly clapped on the ramp and he walked to the back. Everyone's posing. Okada and Fletcher each have 2 belts. They announced that the Swerve Brody match is official for Evolution, which I think we all knew was the case. And yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent show. I'm not perfect. We could have just done without that whole Iconics thing.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If they had cut off a lot of this fat, just put that 6-man at the end, but still having Knight wrestle at the beginning, I would have enjoyed this show a lot more. I found it not good for the most part.
You know what? If you took the Moxley match out of it, and you would have got the show done in little over 2 hours, maybe it would have been great.
Yeah,
maybe.
I wouldn't say great. There's just too much meh in there for me.
Well, you know what the funny thing is with the Iconics thing? I reserve the right to say it was awesome if they do this like 6 weeks in a row. I don't think they will, but if this is like the new Max Caster, it might be okay.
If they become the new Outrunners for the women's division, I'm here for this.
Except the problem is the Outrunners actually got a push.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're actually decent wrestlers.
You'd say the Iconics aren't decent wrestlers.
I am saying the Iconics aren't decent wrestlers. And they're embarrassing. No, you know what the problem is with the inspiration? I should stop calling them the Iconics. They do not fit in this company. That's the problem.
No. Everybody on Twitter was like, I can't believe they signed him. I was like, yeah. At least Tony's trying to get some personality into the company, but I get it. I mean, and also, well, you know what the real problem is? You know why they don't fit is because they usually only do one women's match a week, and they have a giant women's division, and nobody can get any time.
But they literally, I think it was 3 weeks ago, they had a match, or it was a little longer than that. They had a match with the Elegance brand, and it was maybe the worst match I've seen all year. And the Elegance brand are actually pretty good. So it wasn't, it was these two. It wasn't the Elegance brand.
You can have a large roster like this if you do 90-second squashes and 30-second promos, or 30-second squashes, 90-second promos for 2 hours like you used to do back in the day on 605. You can't do that if you're doing 10-minute matches. And True. It's one of these things where it's like, I would much rather get these personalities over and then put them together in a big match. But he's a sicko. This is a company for the sickos. It's not my company. I can't say that. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to lose that Megan Bain team, whoever it is. If it's Megan and the new girl, fine. If it's Megan and Penelope, fine. And then they're going to get like 2 Ring of Honor matches, and then they're just going to have a nice little college fun for their kids. That's what's going to happen.
Probably. The one thing I will say that positive about that match, and maybe this is a credit to the inspiration, the Brawling Birds never looked better than they did in that match. Like, I mean, that's the first time I got excited for the Brawling Birds. Like, those first 2 matches, I did not want to see them again. And after tonight, I'm like, yeah, I want to. You asked for this last week. Like, this is exactly what we wanted from them.
I know, but not like this. That's my problem here. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, give me some pasty, been in wrestling school for 3 months type of person to take a few bumps and make them look good. And give me the Mulkeys. Give me the Italian.
Give me Maya World and Hyann.
Yes, give me the Mermaid Sisters or whatever the hell they were. You remember them?
The Renegade.
They were great.
Sisters.
The Renegade Sisters would be good.
Yeah.
Give me Vicky.
And then
Steamboat.
You know what? When you want to elevate them just a little bit and give them like a 90-second match instead of a 30-second match, give me Diamante and Billy Starks.
Yeah. And then when you want to go a little bit higher, you give them Deonna Purrazzo and
Aya Valkyrie,
the Flag Woman.
The Flag Woman.
Serena Deeb.
Oh God, I forgot about her. Oh my God, they got a lot
because nobody cares, Paul.
Jeff Hawkins, everybody.
No. I'm doing my Britt Baker impression. The last time we saw Serena Deeb.
I know what you're doing.
Others won't. So
all right, Jeff. That's gonna wrap it up here.
Yes.
Do your plugs. How'd that go? Yeah.
I did Shake Them Ropes on Monday. I like it a lot better. That way I don't have to watch NXT. Which
okay.
I just was like, okay. But, and Rob doesn't watch it anyways. But we went, it was an eventful 4 days for WWE. We talked, as Rob says, this is officially the first day on the road to WrestleMania. I think the vision is done. I think it's gone. They're writing Paul E off to go do something else eventually. We just talk about, are they panicking? Are they not panicking? Where does it go from here? We still got 6 weeks. We probably overanalyzed it a bit, but Rob and I talked, and so it's in your podcatchers now. Go listen to it.
Garrett and I had a similar conversation about what the main event of WrestleMania could potentially be for that second, well, I guess the first night.
Yes.
And we couldn't really come to a conclusion because, like you said, there's a lot of time between now and then. And I think they probably have an idea. I think they probably have a couple ideas and they want to see.
I think they're belting Cody on Friday.
Oh, God. I mean, you might be right. And if that's the case, they're basically just saying, yeah, we fucked up. But so you can check that out. It's on this very YouTube channel. Garrett and I did the takedown. I think it dropped earlier today on this feed, and it's also in your audio feed as well. And then Garrett and I will be back next Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you and I will be back next Wednesday for the go home show for Revolution, which I will not be watching. I will watch the go home show. Yeah. What was that?
I'll be on a plane during Revolution, so I can't.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Somebody brought up today. Well, Garrett mentioned it on Takedown, but then I didn't even put together that it's going head to head with the Oscars, and in the same city.
Oh, that's the problem there.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, but they sold a lot of tickets, so good for them. Yeah. I think they're gonna. I think they may sell out.
The Oscars are in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be in crypto.
It's crypto. Is that the former Staples, or is that
that's the former Staples? But the traffic is gonna be insane.
God. Yeah, Lady B.
The subway is gonna be impossible. Probably. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe they may end up with a lot of people not showing up. Who knows? Yeah. But anyways, that'll be coming next week. So a lot of stuff going on. And and then just keep an eye on my Twitter or on my YouTube because there's maybe something coming soon, and when it does, I'll mention it. But I don't want to mention anything until it happens. So for Jeff Hawkins, I've been Paul Fontaine, and this has been the Dynamite Show.